Have you ever been fat/body shamed online? If so, you're going to want to keep watching this video because I'm going to share some practical tips with you for how you can handle these online body/fat shamers. The internet seems to be a breeding ground for these trolls. You know, those faceless accounts that seem to come along and tell you all this nasty stuff, all for the sake of your health. You know, I'm just concerned about your health. Concerned about my health? Please, bullshit. But I digress. Now, I'm not going to share with you what fat shaming is or why fat shaming is harmful and not helpful. If you want to know that, I have a video that you can watch that explains that, and I'll be sure to link to that in the description below. So let's just jump right into some practical ways that you can handle these fat/body shaming online trolls. Now, the number one rule on how to handle them is don't feed the trolls. I know. Easier said than done. But seriously, when somebody comes at you and they are being nasty and they are, just leaving ridiculous comments, what they are trying to do is literally get a reaction out of you. So if you just ignore them and don't feed the trolls, they tend to move along. At least in my experience, when I have not fed the trolls, they've eventually just moved along, unfortunately, onto their next, person that they decide they want to troll. Another way that you can handle these fat shaming trolls is to kill them with kindness. Yeah, I know. Sometimes easier said than done. But seriously, when somebody is attacking you and saying all this nasty stuff to you, again, they're trying to get a reaction out of you. But if you come at them with a kind answer or a kind response, it's kind of like what I call a pattern interrupt. It literally interrupts them because they're not expecting to get that kindness from you. Instead, they're expecting to get the reaction out of you that's going to cause you to respond in anger, and they want to engage you probably in some back and forth nasty, comments. They want to start this nasty commenting type war. So kill them with kindness. Now, this next one kind of piggybacks off this previous one of kill them with kindness. Think before you respond. I know for me personally, there have been times that I have responded out of anger and nastiness to the comment that was left for me. And that's exactly what these trolls want. They want that reaction from you. They want you responding when you are pissed and you're feeling anger and you're feeling hurt about what they said. So if I decide that I want to engage with these trolls, I always, and I shouldn't say always, I try really hard to make sure that I think before I respond. And the reason I do this is exactly what I just said. I don't want to come at them from a place of anger, which would cause me to respond with nastiness right back to them. I want to think, I want to take a deep breath, and then I want to respond. And I want to respond in a way that addresses what they're saying, but in a way that is not being nasty right back to them. Okay, so another way that you can handle these fat/body shaming online trolls is you can report and block them. I think over the years that I have been on social media, I don't know that I've actually ever reported somebody's comment. Of course, this is going to be a personal preference, and it's going to depend on, how much you're willing to tolerate. So you can report them. Now, the way that I have handled it is instead of reporting them, I simply delete the comment and block them. Here on YouTube, what I have been finding is I don't even waste time blocking them. Instead, I just choose the option that says hide from channel. works like a charm. Another way that you can handle these online trolls is with moderators. Now, depending on the level of how many followers, how big your channel or your other social media accounts is, this is going to depend on probably whether you hire somebody like a virtual assistant, a social media manager. But if you are somebody that is smaller like me, who does not have a very big channel, and I don't have lots of followers on other social media accounts, I can actually still handle moderating comments for myself. So a great way if you have trouble handling and dealing with and having to see the nastiness is hiring, or not even hiring, but finding a moderator. If you're a smaller channel, you could always even ask just like a family member or a friend or even like your significant other. For me, when I recently was dealing with a ton of fat shaming and it really got to me, my significant other actually offered to handle all of the YouTube comments for me because he is really cut and dry. He will not stand for any of that nasty shit that these people were saying to me. So he would very easily like delete and block, delete and block. Again, I'm doing a little bit better now about handling them, and I find that the hide from channel option is working really well for me. But if you are somebody that has a really hard time and can't like mentally handle these trolls and the things they're saying to you, I would really recommend that you find a moderator that can handle this stuff for you so that you don't have to see it. Another way that you can handle these body shaming trolls is with humor. A long time ago, I think it was last year, I had this fat shaming troll on Instagram who he just was getting under my skin. I was engaging in conversation with him and it was going nowhere, which generally that's what happens with trolls. And he ended up just so completely being under my skin that I decided to mostly humor myself in the way that I responded to him, but I will have a link to the Instagram post in the description so that you can go check that out if you want. But he was commenting about my flabby fat arms and how it was disgusting, or I don't even remember exactly what he was talking about. I just remember it started with my arms. So when I like snapped back, clapped back, whatever you want to call it, I ended up being like, oh, hey, you didn't like the fat, flabby arms, so how about I give you something else to look at? And I like showed him my tummy, and then I like, showed him my fat thighs. Again, I found it humorous. He did not find it so humorous, as he so kindly let me know in the comments. But humor is a great way to handle these trolls. Another tip that I want to share with you about handling these body fat shaming trolls is more about you than it is, handling them. Self-care. It is so important for you to remember that what a troll says to you says more about them as a person than it does you. Have kindness with yourself, have, compassion with yourself. Remind yourself that you are worthy, you are valuable, and you are beautiful just as you are. If you've ever experienced these nasty fat slash body shaming trolls online, I would love for you to leave me a comment. Let me know how you handled them and how you've dealt with it.